Recent bank failure has led investors away from the central regulated currencies such as dollar, euro into decentralized projects such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. Certainly underlying pros that are perfectly suitable for instilling trust in the DeFi space. We have been joined by Mr. Rahul Jain, Web3 Growth Manager at BNS, to help understand the growth popularity of the DeFi sector. Welcome on 3.0 TV. So, Rahul, what according to you is decentralized finance? If you can just simplify this for our viewers. And can you just highlight the basics of DeFi and the salient features of it to begin with?
The core difference between DeFi and banking is transparency, right? Now, people are opting in for DeFi is one of the main reason is it's transparent. The data is available on the blockchain. You can verify who and like not the who, but actually you can understand like where the funds are moving. It's open to public. You can go ahead and watch what is happening on a specific addresses, or if you are transferring what is happening to your funds, where it is moving, right? And imagine if the government is going to bring DeFi into, if they also want to utilize this blockchain, right? Because blockchain is the core technology behind this all DeFi protocols. So imagine tomorrow government says hey, all the bank and the major companies which are dealing with the bank, they have to open their address to public. So if that happens, imagine what is the bigger companies are how they are moving their funds, that will be open, so people can actually understand what is happening with their money. But as of now, if you see, the banking system is not decentralized, right? They are not transparent. They don't have this all the funds moving or whichever happens or anything which is not transparent. But the transparency is the core, I would say factor of DeFi. So transparency is one thing. The transaction, right? If you are going to transfer from one country to other country, and this generally happen via Swift, right? The Swift generally is not faster as compared to blockchain. You can send with blockchain within 1 hour if you want to use around Bitcoin, let's say, right? If 6 confirmations are taken to confirm a transaction, generally exchanges are trying to around 6 are being taken, that okay, it's after 6 confirmation they actually approve this. So generally it will be 1 hour. But with respect to banking system, it might take you more than 3 to 5 days. So that is where the blockchain technology is also helping in DeFi systems. And when we talk about fees, if you are sending like 1 lakh rupee, or if you are sending like $1 million or 2 million or $10 million also, the fee will be constant around that. It varies on a day-to-day basis, but that cost will be like 1,000 to 2,000. But with respect to banking, it's like on a percentage basis. So if you're sending 1 lakh, you have to pay 1%. But imagine if you're sending 10 lakh, and 1% of that is 10,000 rupees, right? So you are paying higher the higher the amount you want to transfer, which is which is better in blockchain, that even if you want to send a higher amount, there is a constant fee which everyone will have to pay. For small transactions, agreed. So that is everybody will have to pay some minimum. So for that, I think lightning networks and many other solutions are being adopted by many technologies like Bitcoin blockchain. They are using lightning. On Ethereum, they are bringing layer 2 solutions where you can actually optimize the cost for transacting on their chain as well. So these are the things. I think these three are very core important factors for DeFi.
Rahul, as we are discussing about the DeFi space, can you just please throw some light on the key difference between the DeFi and trade fee? If you can just explain this for our viewers as well.
So DeFi is like, again, when we talk about usage, right? If you go to a bank account and if you open a bank account, right? And certain time what happens is, even if you are willing to withdraw certain amount, there are again the KYC which you have to do, and sometimes there are hurdles at banking section, right? And you cannot withdraw on certain like you cannot go and withdraw on Sunday. You cannot do that in a banking system, right? And even if you want to transfer, yes, they will tell you, okay, go and use for internet banking, but there are again certain limits. You have to add and
Yeah.
beneficiary, and then that beneficiary is getting approved, and then you have to transfer. But with respect to bank, right, DeFi protocol, it is you own the keys, and when you own your keys, you have the right to do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do, right? uh DeFi is like 24/7. You don't have to worry on which specific day you would be actually like stopped or something. It's any day you can go, you can transact, and that too you will be approving it, and the network will verify that and validate this. So that is a key feature for like one of the key comparison between traditional finances and DeFi. Now yield bearing protocols, uh, when you deposit in a bank account, and when you are promised that you'll be paid around 7% interest or 8% interest, you know that the bank will lend that money, and then you, based on that, you earn the interest. Like that's how they transfer the profit, and that's how they give you the interest. But now what happens is a lot of banks are also defaulting, like us. See, when we talk about, we should not only think that we are in India and that's what we should be worried about Indian banks only. Now when we are talking about DeFi is a global, DeFi is a global thing. So when we talk about it, like if you see US, there are certain banks which have defaulted, and now the government is bringing to help those banks. Now this, what happens in DeFi is, like, at least you can understand what is happening with your money. Is that this money being used by someone? Because when default is happening, you come to know when the banks are defaulting, and then you don't know, sometimes you can't do anything with your money. But with DeFi, you control your money, you control whatever the actions you are to, trying to do with these DeFi protocols.
Absolutely. And can you, once more, if you can just highlight us or give us some examples of the popular use cases of the DeFi and the trending topics such as, touch base upon the stable coins aspect as well?
Use cases are: one, you earn interest. Second is that, if you want to remit your funds from one country to other country, so that what happens is that time you can actually utilize, instead of utilizing INR and other Western Union money and other stuff, you can utilize this you stable coin to transfer and withdraw immediately, right? There are so many on ramp and off ramp solutions are being built on top of this, so you can utilize for remitting your money. Uh, now with other DeFi protocol users are like, our on blockchain, right? So you can also transact land properties and everything on top of blockchain. Now, how is this decentralized finance, right? Even when you are transacting your properties, it's kind of a finance, right? Uh, you are transferring your money and you're purchasing your property, right? Some kind of transaction. Will consider this a kind of transaction which is happening between two party. So similarly with blockchain, what happens is all this transparency is open. This is on blockchain, and nobody can change that data. So that helps you, blockchain helps you to prove that data, that this property belongs to this specific person. With these land records are done in a manual, or even on a database basis, they can be changed, right? But that doesn't happen with blockchain. They cannot be changed. That's why they are called immutables, where land records, even with the help of some, if they want to do something, there can be a level where there is a proof of, let's say, hack which can happen, right? There is a possibility of changes can happen, but this cannot happen with blockchain, right? DeFi is there, and then a lot of other things are being developed. Gamings are coming into this. So earlier you were playing games when you are not getting any, even if you are getting any money out of it. So you invest. If you would have played PUBG or Free Fire, right? You buy a character, you buy this character, and then you can't do anything out of it. You can only actually play the game. You win money, fine, but you cannot do anything out of those character which you have purchased by giving your real money, right? But with NFT and as a DeFi concept, what you can do is you can invest into a particular, when you are playing a game, you can invest into a character. And if you are actually seeing that, that character you no longer need, you can need it, you can rent it, or you can even sell it, right? So these are becoming an assets on, so gaming assets are also helping you to earn money out of it. So these assets are helping you in terms of, this is a blockchain which is helping you. Another decentralized, or I would say not DeFi core, but decentralized way of using blockchain is like power transmission, right? People are using power to in so I remember this company called V Power, right? And Power Ledger. So they are, what they are doing is, you generally have your solar panels, and then you use the solar panel to what you say, save that energy, right? That stored energy, you then can rent it also. So how do you do that? But how do the transparency can come? So because of this power ledger, they are also, I think in India also, they have tied up with a lot of governments where you can transfer energy to the government, and then there is a transparency and the proper uh, whatever the amount of energy you are giving to the government, for that you have a proper data, and that much amount get transferred to your particular bank accounts. Now this is happening in Australia, like where these are happening, but in India level they have tied up all this. But in what levels they have tied up in India, that we are actually, I am not, like, I am also looking into it, that. Yeah, so these are these use cases of DeFi, and many more applications are going to be built on top of this.
Yeah. Since we are talking about the overall DeFi sector, and we have already spoken in depth about the use cases of the DeFi, can you just help us understand its implication on the real life, with the real life? I mean, how this common man can adopt this DeFi space and be a part of this growth story with some examples?
So now, in terms of DeFi, I think as a country, India is still exploring, but this scope is very good, and a lot of I think jobs are being created in this industry as well. And India is being the core development side. More and more developers are coming for blockchain industry across the globe. The developers are being searched in India, and if especially the students who are looking into this, I think they should understand that DeFi, blockchain, AI are going to be the next big things. They are current big things, not next big thing. So if you're looking like scope or what exactly you should be doing, I think you should actually start understanding what is the basics of blockchains of Bitcoin, what is the basic of Ethereum, and how can you build smart contracts on top of this, and what are the basic smart contracts you can go ahead and build. How can you make sure this smart contract which you are building is cannot be hacked also, because there are audits which are happening. So if you learn this basics and you start developing it, you might get a good scope. There's a good scope of career in this industry, and you can get a good job as well, and you can all, who knows, you can develop your own product, right? One of the key inspiration is InstaDapp guys. Very young guys, 19, when they started InstaDapp they were 19 and 21, and they started, and they right now actually, I think, around on the top of bull run, they were around 5 billion worth of TVL, which is called total value logged on their protocol. So these young kids have developed a protocol which is saying which is having $5 billion worth of assets logged in this particular, on their particular protocol. So I think scope is very huge. uh, Anybody who's listening to this, I think they should give a chance to learn what is happening in Web3 and what is all these blockchain technologies.
All right, that's all there is in this special DeFi segment. Rahul, thank you so much for being part of this interaction and talking in depth about the DeFi space. It was a pleasure having you on 3.0 TV. Thank you.
Thank you.